A US Navy warship has successfully tested a new high-energy laser weapon system that can kill any aircraft mid-flight. Amphibious Transport Dock Ship USS Portland, also known as LPD-27, successfully disabled an unmanned aerial vehicle with a solid-state laser technology maturation LWSD Mach 2 MOD-0 on May 16th. Laser Weapon System Demonstrator is a high-energy laser weapon system demonstrator developed by the Office of Naval Research and installed on USS Portland for an at-sea demonstration. LWSD's operational employment on a Pacific Fleet ship is the first system-level implementation of a high-energy class solid-state laser. The laser system was developed by Northrop Grumman with full system and ship integration and testing led by Naval Surface Warfare Center, Dahlgren and Port Hueneme. Commanding Officer of USS Portland, Captain Carrie Sanders said, "By conducting advanced at-sea tests against UAV and small crafts, we will gain valuable information on the capabilities of the solid-state laser weapon system demonstrators against potential threats." The US Navy has been developing direct energy weapons to include lasers since the 1960s. DEWs are defined as electromagnetic systems capable of converting chemical or electrical energy to radiated energy and focusing it on target, resulting in physical damage that degrades, neutralizes, defeats, or destroys an adversarial capability. Navy ships face an increasing number of threats in conducting their missions, including UAVs, armed small boats, and adversary intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance systems. Navy's development of DEWs like the LWSD provide immediate warfighters benefits and provide the commander increased decision space and response options. The solid-state laser weapon system demonstrator is a unique capability the Portland gets to test and operate for the Navy while paving the way for future weapon systems. With this new advanced capability, we are redefining war at sea for the Navy, Captain Sanders said. Portland is the 11th San Antonio class amphibious transport dock ship. While it is the third ship to bear the name USS Portland, it is the first ship to be named solely after the largest city in Oregon.
U.S. discussed holding first nuclear test in decades, report. Washington AFP. President Donald Trump's administration has discussed holding the first U.S. nuclear test since 1992 as a potential warning to Russia and China, the Washington Post reported Friday. Such a test would be a significant departure from U.S. defense policy and dramatically up the ante for other nuclear-armed nations. One analyst told the newspaper that if it were to go ahead it would be seen as the starting gun to an unprecedented nuclear arms race. The report, citing one senior administration official and two former officials, all who spoke anonymously, said the discussion had taken place at a meeting on May 15. It came after some U.S. officials reportedly claimed that Russia and China were conducting their own low-yield tests. Moscow and Beijing have denied the claims, and the U.S. has not offered evidence for them. The senior administration official said that demonstrating Washington's ability to rapid test would be a useful negotiating tactic as the U.S. seeks a trilateral agreement with Russia and China over nuclear weapons. The meeting did not conclude with any agreement, and the sources were divided over whether discussions were still ongoing. Nuclear non-proliferation activists were quick to condemn the idea. It would be the starting gun to an unprecedented nuclear arms race, Daryl Kimball, executive director of the Arms Control Association, told the Post. He added that it would also likely disrupt negotiations with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who may no longer feel compelled to honor his moratorium on nuclear testing. Beatrice Finn of the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, ICAN, the group that won the 2017 Nobel Peace Prize, warned a Trump nuclear test could plunge us back into a new Cold War. It would also blow up any chance of avoiding a dangerous new nuclear arms race. It would complete the erosion of the global arms control framework, she said in a statement. The Trump administration has repeatedly shaken up U.S. defense policy. The Washington Post report came one day after Trump announced that he plans to withdraw from the Open Skies Treaty with Russia, which was designed to improve military transparency and confidence between the superpowers. It is the third arms control pact Trump has abrogated since coming to office. Russia has insisted it will abide by the 18-year-old agreement, which seeks to lower the risk of war by permitting each signatory country's military to conduct a certain number of surveillance flights over another member country each year on short notice. European nations have also urged Trump to reconsider. Facing re-election in November, Trump has also significantly hardened his rhetoric against China in recent weeks, repeatedly criticizing Beijing's handling of the coronavirus pandemic which first emerged there. He has made repeated but vague threats of retaliation against the chief U.S. economic rival, which has denied all his accusations. Earlier this month, Trump called for involving China in new arms control talks with Russia, telling his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin they need to avoid a costly arms race. It is not the first time Trump's defense policy has raised concerns the administration is elevating the risk of nuclear war. In February, the Pentagon announced it had deployed a submarine carrying a new long-range missile with a relatively small nuclear warhead, saying it was in response to Russian tests of similar weapons. Critics worry that small nukes would be more likely to be used because they cause less damage, thereby lowering the threshold for nuclear conflict. But the Pentagon says it is crucial to deterring rivals like Moscow who might assume that, with only large, massively destructive nuclear weapons in its arsenal, the U.S. would not respond to another country's first use of a small, tactical, nuclear bomb.
Alright, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, and verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and they bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." All right, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and where I learn this truth. All right, so as you see, all right, them World War III drums, they beating, all right, louder and louder. All right, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's lulled, you know what I'm saying, the masses, you know what I'm saying, to sleep with this COVID-19 shit. But here it is, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Them World War III drums are continuing to beat, all right, as they were beating, you know what I'm saying, toward the end of last year and the beginning of this year, all right? Trump, you know what I'm saying, and you Americans, you know what I'm saying, you're going to go to war with Russia and with China, all right, as well as North Korea and as well as Iran, all right? They're going to team up and they're going to destroy you, all right? And you're going to, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get some of your shit off. You're going to get some of your nukes off, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the scriptures prophesied America, which is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, mystery Babylon, is to be destroyed, all right? Utterly burned with fire, all right? That's what's going to happen to this fucking place, all right? And that's why these nations have these ICBM nuclear missiles, all right? These nukes are going to be used to destroy various different places of the earth, all right? Because last time when Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua destroyed the earth, you know what I'm saying, it was destroyed by water. This time it's going to be destroyed by fire, all right? And fire is a cleaning agent, all right? All the wickedness that's took place under this goddamn devil's rulership, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, as it says in Job 9:24, and the wicked is Esau, as it says in Malachi 1:4, all right? So we know who the wicked is. We know who in rulership right now. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua put the spirit on this devil to create, you know what I'm saying, all of these nukes and all of these other various weapons of destruction to destroy his own self, all right? Because Esau Edom is going to shoot them nukes off, and little do they know, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be part of their destruction as well, all right? The Most High is going to come back. He's going to send his son Yahushua back with the holy host of angels and the chariots, and they're going to light this fucking place up, you know what I'm saying, this so-called America. It's going to be utterly burned and destroyed, all right? So them nukes that, you know what I'm saying, that you got, and all of this shit, you know what I'm saying, it's all just gearing up, you know what I'm saying, for your utter destruction, you know what I'm saying. That's what's going to happen to you fucking Americans, all right? So I got one more clip, a video I'm finna let show right here, and then I'm going to get some more scriptures to go with it. Just bear with me.
When American astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley arrive at the International Space Station this week, they will find an unusual message waiting for them. On the inside of the hatch where their SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft is scheduled to dock, a small Stars and Stripes flag has been sealed in a plastic bag with a cryptic message attached. Flown on STS-1 and STS-135. Only to be removed by a crew launched from KSC. It sounds enigmatic, but the meaning is straightforward. The flag, which measures 8 inches by 12 inches, was flown on board the first Space Shuttle mission, STS-1, in 1981. And it was carried aloft in 2011 when the shuttle Atlantis rendezvoused with the space station on the last shuttle mission, STS-135. KSC simply stands for the Kennedy Space Center. Departing astronauts on Atlantis had left the flag and message before flying their craft back to the U.S., where it was grounded with the other remaining shuttlecraft in the wake of the Challenger and Columbia tragedies. Only when Americans returned, in a new fleet of their own spaceships, was that flag to be brought back to Earth. It was decreed. Now that moment is about to arrive. After a gap of 9 years, during which U.S. astronauts have had to undergo the ignominy of hitching rides to the space station in Russia's cramped Soyuz space capsules, American men and women are set to return to orbit in their own craft, in this case, Elon Musk's SpaceX Crew Dragon spaceship. It will be a triumphant moment for America as it enters a new stage in its often troubled manned space program. Crewed space flights into low Earth orbit will now be taken over by private businesses which have already been ferrying supplies to the space station. To date, only the governments of America, Russia and China have been able to mount manned space programs. Now U.S. business is taking a lead. It's an important moment, not just for the U.S. but for all the other national groups involved in the space station, said Frank de Win, head of the European Space Agency's Astronaut Center in Cologne. We will be able to have a full complement of 7 astronauts on the station. At present, there are only 3 because transport has been limited. Crew Dragon means we can get back up to strength and catch up with all the science that we couldn't do for lack of personnel. Putting astronauts into orbit has always been costly and has bedeviled efforts to open up space as a commercial frontier. NASA had developed a strong risk aversion policy, which meant its vehicles were more complex than necessary, and a lack of competition provided no incentive to keep costs down. Now that is changing. Apart from the involvement of Musk's SpaceX company, the aerospace giant Boeing has also built its own spaceship, Starliner, and later this year it also plans to ferry astronauts to the space station. On the sidelines, companies such as Blue Origin, founded by Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, Virgin Orbit, founded by Richard Branson, and
NATO nations decided that the alliance will acquire the capability to defend European territory and populations against missile attack.
This animation illustrates how NATO's ballistic missile defense capability is designed to work in a hypothetical scenario. NATO conducts thorough planning to make the best use of all weapon systems and sensors under its command. First, the threat posed by hostile missiles is determined based on intelligence estimates of threat capabilities. Next, national critical assets and areas are identified, and a detailed defense planning process begins. Finally, ballistic missile defense assets are assigned specific roles. Early warning is provided by satellites to sea and land-based assets deployed as part of the defense design. When a ballistic missile is launched towards the alliance, the NATO commander is alerted as its heat signature is detected by an infrared satellite. That information is then transmitted to a ground station for analysis. Planning and analysis are led by NATO's Headquarters Allied Air Command in Ramstein, Germany. When the threat is confirmed, the information is sent to all appropriate command centers, sensors, and weapon systems. As the hostile missile continues its ascent, the engine concludes its burn. At that point, the infrared satellite can no longer detect it. Long-range sensors, such as the United States land-based ANTPY-2 and the Netherlands sea-based SMART-L radar, then detect and track the missile. They forward the information to the command and control system so that intercept solutions can be calculated. The NATO tracking capability also includes the U.S. Navy Aegis Combat System, featuring the AN-SPY-1 radar, which is capable of tracking more than 100 objects. Together, these sensors create a robust detection and tracking capability. As tracking continues, greater accuracy is achieved. The sensors follow the missile as long as possible and share updated information with all other systems. A key feature of NATO's ballistic missile defense system is an upper layer intercept capability aimed at destroying missiles outside the atmosphere. This is provided in part by the Aegis ships. In the future, additional systems like the Terminal High Altitude Air Defense System, or THAAD, could also provide additional capability. In our hypothetical scenario, one of the threat missiles is engaged and destroyed in space. Threatening missiles that do re-enter the atmosphere become the responsibility of lower layer elements, such as the Patriot system used by Germany, the Netherlands, and the United States, and the SAMP/T system used by France and Italy. All sensors continue to track threatening missiles. As the threat comes into range, lower layer shooters engage and destroy any remaining hostile missiles. In November 2011, during the live-fire exercise Rapid Arrow, NATO commanders successfully tested essential elements of the interim NATO missile defense capability, using it to plan, coordinate, and carry out engagements against live ballistic missile targets. These were conducted by German Patriot batteries assisted by the U.S. Aegis destroyer, USS The Sullivans, and linked by the NATO and U.S. command and control systems. NATO participation in this exercise included several command elements. In Germany, the Headquarters Allied Air Command at Ramstein, and its subordinate command at the Combined Air Operations Center at Udum. And in Turkey, the Headquarters Allied Air Command at Izmir. During the live-fire portion of the exercise, small ballistic missile targets were fired from a remote island near Santorini in the Aegean Sea. The Aegis destroyer detected these targets and reported them by U.S. satellite communications to the United States 603rd Air Operations Center at Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. From here, the track was forwarded to the NATO Combined Air Operations Center in Udum, Germany. The information was then sent to German Patriot units on the Greek island of Crete and to NATO's two Allied Air Command headquarters at Ramstein, Germany and Izmir, Turkey. When the German Patriot systems detected the target, they reported the track over a NATO satellite link through Verona, Italy, to the NATO Command and Control node in Udum. There, the NATO system integrated the data to create a real-time air and missile defense picture, which was forwarded to NATO's Ramstein and Izmir headquarters and to the USS The Sullivans. This made all the relevant command levels aware of the incoming ballistic missile in real time. Based on this information, the Patriot system on Crete successfully engaged and destroyed the hostile missile.
As this whole event only lasted about 5 minutes from the launch of the target missile to the final engagement, it also shows how critical a good functioning C2 system is to the overall command and control process. Here at Ramstein, we could see everything, the detection of the launch, the tracking of the target missile, going inbound into the target area, and then the engagement process.
Weapons and sensors contributed to NATO's defense by member nations, together with the NATO Command, Control, and Communications Network, have enabled NATO to develop a new ballistic missile defense capability. This significantly increases the alliance's capability to address missile threats and enhances the security of NATO populations, territory, and forces.
All right, so as you just seen, all right, NATO, all right, the EU, you know what I'm saying, in America, they getting ready. All right, they're showing you their missile defense systems, all right, because they know, you know what I'm saying, that World War III will take place and it will be fought, you know what I'm saying, in the sky. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be missiles fought, you know what I mean, missiles flying throughout the sky, you know what I'm saying? So let me get let me see, because I'm going to hit Joel chapter 2. Before I get that, I want to read Revelation 17, all right? All right, this is Revelation chapter 17. I'll start at verse 1. It says, "And there came one of the 7 angels which had 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." All right, so that's talking about, you know what I'm saying, judgment of America. And when you jump down to verse, before I even continue it on, let me jump on down to verse 15. It says, "And he said unto me, the waters which thou seest, where the whore sitteth, and the peoples, Salakia. It says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right, so when it says in verse 1, Revelations 17:1, and there came one of the seven angels which had 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Those waters are nations of people. All right, as we just read in 15. Let me read it again. It says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right, so let me go on back up to verse 2 now. All right, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And that's talking about the philosophies and the doctrines that go forth from America, all right, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, all right, mystery Babylon. All right, verse 3. It says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. That's talking about NATO and the EU, what you just saw a while ago. All right. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet-colored, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. All right, and that's right here, America. All right, that's why in Amos 9:8 it says, behold, the eyes of the Most High are upon the sinful kingdom. All right, and he's going to utterly destroy his saving. He will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. All right, talking about the elect of Jacob. All right, so going down to verse 6, it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, the Israelites, and with the blood of the martyrs for Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which had 7 heads and 10 horns. It's talking about NATO and the EU. All right, jump down to verse 9. It says, and here is the mind which hath wisdom, the 7 heads, and the 7 heads or 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. All right, going down to 10, it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That's talking about the revisal of the Roman Empire, all right? America is nothing but the Roman Empire coming back into reincarnation, all right? That's why you have a Senate, all right? That's why you have the same things that was pushed out in the Roman Empire or pushed out in America. You have a Senate, all right? You have a woman worship, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit that was going on back then is going on today, all right? You had all these different gods and deities being worshipped, all right? And it's the same thing in America. All right, verse 12, it says, and the 10 horns, verse 11, it says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th and goeth into perdition, all right? Roman Empire, all right? It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. All right. All right, it says, these have one mind. They shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. And the Lamb is Yahushua, and that's why you have this space station, all right? And that's why Esau and these nations are going to team up, all right? It said in the earlier clip that it read out that China and Russia are the other nations that have the space capability, the same type of space capability as the United States, all right? And when Yahushua comes back with the holy host of angels, all these nations that are in World War III fighting, they're going to stop fighting each other, and they're going to join together and try to fight the chariots and the Lamb. That's what they're speaking of, all right? China and Russia are going to stop fighting America, and they're going to try to team up with America before they destroy her. And they're going to try to fight, you know what I'm saying, the Most High and his angels, all right? So continuing on, it says, read that again. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. All right, and then verse 15, it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, and that's because they're going to shoot their nukes on her. When you read down 17, it says, For Yahweh had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over all the kings of the earth. All right, and that's talking about America. All right, that's that great city that reigns over all the kings of the earth. All right, let me go to Amos chapter 9. I'm going to read verse 8. It says, Behold, the eyes of the Lord power upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Most High Yahweh. All right, so again, this place, America, is prophesied to be destroyed, all right? So let me get another precept. Let me go to Revelations 18:8. All right, it says, Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. All right, so America is going to be judged, all right, for the wickedness in which it commits, you know what I'm saying? And for the violence in which it committed against, you know what I'm saying, the children of Israel. You have the children of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans in captivity on this side, all right? And you crossed out Yahweh on this side as well, all right? So you got to pay for all of your sins. That's why America is going to be utterly destroyed, all right? Because they crucified our Lord on this side, all right? They crossed him out, all right? Let me go to Joel chapter 2 now. All right, we're going to start at verse 1, because this is what's getting ready to happen, all right? It says, Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound the alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Most High Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there had not been ever like, there had not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. All right. And that mountain, when it says mountains, that's talking about peoples, as we, you know what I'm saying, read a while ago in Revelations. All right. So verse 3, it says, A fire devoured them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. This is talking about the ICBM missiles, which are the weapons of Yahweh Shemel Shai's indignation. All right, his spirit is going to be in them missiles. All right, it says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before the face of the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. That's talking about these missiles, because when they get shot off, you're not calling them back. All right, they're not going to turn around, and ain't none of them going to miss. All right, the spirit of the Most High, Yahweh Shemel Shai, is going to be in them missiles, and they're going to hit every target that they were designated for Yahweh Shemel Shai to make them hit. All right, verse 8, it says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. All right, and the sword is Esau. All right, Esau, Edom is the sword of the Most High. That's in Psalm 17 and 13. All right, so going down to verse 9, it says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. All right, and that's why the scriptures say the day of the Lord is going to catch most of you people as a thief in the night. All right, verse 10, it says, the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. All right, so it's going to be so many nuclear missiles shot off that it's going to block out the sun. And when they hit the ground, it's going to make the earth tremble. All right. Verse 11, it says, and the Most High Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army So that's letting you know these missiles are his army. All right. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Most High Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide in it? All right. So that's what's getting ready to come on you fucking nations. All right. You're gonna be gathered over there in Yahweh's Shabbat, Yahweh's judgment. All right. And you're gonna start World War III. All right. You're gonna be fucking each other off, and in the midst of World War III, Yahweh Shai is gonna return. All right, you fuckers are gonna stop fighting, and you're gonna try to fight Yahweh Shai, and then you're gonna get your asses utterly obliterated. All right, the elect are gonna get beamed up before all this takes place, and then we're gonna come back down out of them chariots, and then, you know what I'm saying, the fun begins. All you fuckers get to go head first into slavery. All right, so, you know what I'm saying, Lord willing, that was edifying. Give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach everywhere I learn this truth. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom. Got a video to close out with. Abaratazai was edifying. Shalom.
I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat? There is one image there.